So in Diablo 2, rune words reign supreme. But that's not in every item slot because such as boots, you can't be making rune words. There is one set boot, actually Alder's boots, that are used quite often for certain characters. And there's obviously rare boots that can get all kinds of great stuff on it, like hit, recovery, faster, walk, run, and all different type of resistances. Those are incredibly hard to find because there is so much variety in the stats that can roll on it. That's why a lot of time unique boots are the way to go with your character. The variation of stats on them is much less, and the ones that do vary, you still get those good stats that you're looking for. So now with that being said, today right here in this video, I'm coming at you with the top 5 best unique boots in all of Diablo 2 Resurrected. As always, let me know your opinions on this list down in the comments. I even appreciate those ones that call me a stupid motherfucker.
1 hour later.
Let's get after it.
We're going to have a weird start to this video. I'm actually coming in with 2 different boots here at number 5. To be honest, it was incredibly hard to choose on this list because actually there aren't that many different unique boots that are really good here in Diablo 2. So for these 2 boots that were tied for 5th, I'm going with Silkweaves and Waterwalks. Now it really does matter if you're talking about casters or if you're talking about more melee type builds, because the Silkweaves are kind of specifically for casters. They have 10% to maximum mana and also 5 to mana after each kill, which for mana intensive builds such maybe for season 1 coming up here, the Nova Sorceress, that 5 to mana after each kill can really help you out. Now obviously if you're doing a more melee character build, you don't really need more mana or mana after kill, but you need more things to help out your survivability, and that's where the Waterwalks come in. They can have up to 65 to life, and they also have 2 maximum fire res, which can be very beneficial because a ton of monsters hit very, very hard in Diablo 2, especially in Act 4 with fire damage. Now I will be honest, neither one of these are really incredibly godly, but the uses of unique boots here in Diablo 2 are really concentrated with the top few on this list. And generally, really, these boots would be used until you found an even better pair of rare boots with all kinds of resistances and hit recovery and stuff like that. So now for number 4 here, we're coming at you with Sandstorm Treks. These once again have a lot of different stats to help out your characters, but generally these are going to be used until you get yourself a really good pair of rare boots, or until you get another one up higher here on the list. Well, these boots have 20% more to both faster walk, run, and hit recovery, 40 to 70 to poison resistance, which you'll never have to worry about that again if you're wearing these boots, and then also 10 to 15 to both strength and vitality. On top of that, these can be incredibly valuable because they actually have replenished durability on them, so it is very sought after to actually find the ethereal versions of these to get an incredibly high defense. These would be a very good boot to use on any character, so usually I will search for more of a rare boot because you can get the hit recovery and a bunch more resistances on it. But like I said a bunch of times in this video already, those rare boots are incredibly uncommon, and you will never be disappointed having Sandstorm Treks on your character. So number 3 on the list is actually a boot that you can find in normal, which is a little shocking to some people, I bet. But these are the Goblin Toes. Even stranger to say it, they actually don't have much on them to help your character out. But they do have one thing that is so incredibly powerful, that's why I slid it in here at number 3. And that is 25% chance of Crushing Blow. Now Crushing Blow is so powerful because it actually does a percentage of the monster's total life pool. This does help you out with regular monsters, but it's even more incredibly important when you're going after the strong act bosses that have a ton of health, or even more importantly, if you're farming Ubers or Diablo clone. It is incredibly uncommon in this game to have boots actually help out your damage on your character this much. So this boot and one other one that's coming up on the list in the future, spoiler alert, are the only ones that can actually increase your damage like this. You're not going to find anything like this on any other type of set, or rare boot, or magic boot for that matter. Also, depending on who you talk to, this boot is actually the best in slot for melee characters in the game. Like I said, it depends on the person's opinion. That's why it was not hard to put even this low-level boot on this list. So now we're at number 2, and I'm actually bringing in the aforementioned item that I talked about that was another good boot for melee characters, and that is Gore Riders. This is the other boot that's definitely in the discussion of the best boot for melee characters. That's because on top of 30% faster walk run, These boots have 15% chance of deadly strike and crushing blow, and 10% chance of open wounds. So in my opinion, these boots are a little bit better than the Goblin Toes that I put just before because of that said deadly strike and open wounds. Now early on, the crushing blow can help you out even more because you actually deal more damage, not necessarily based upon how much damage your weapon does, but based upon how much life the monster has that you're attacking. But as you progress further into the game, you'll get better gear and better gear and better gear, and then actually that deadly strike can help you out even more sometimes. On top of that, getting open wounds will allow the monster to not heal if you get that to proc for a period of time, and that can also be incredibly beneficial. Then of course too, faster walk run for melee characters can actually be very important later on. It's kind of overlooked, especially if you don't have that enigma. So I've heard it talked about as kind of a debate between the two, but because I put this in at number 2 on the list, I pick Gore Riders most of the time. So here we are at number 1, and this was a pretty easy choice in my opinion. Now, of course, there's going to be a little bit of bias put in because I'm primarily a magic finder, so magic find boots are obviously going to be the best in slot most of the time. So a lot of you could have guessed what these boots are going to be, and that is War Travelers. A lot of people in Diablo 2 Resurrected will go with different types of casters as the characters that they play. So if you are a caster, obviously things like Crushing Blow and Deadly Strike and Open Wounds aren't really going to help you out that much. The boot slot on characters tends to be a little bit of a weaker one anyways, so actually getting Magic Find boots in that slot can be very, very, very helpful, especially if you're like me out there magic finding. So like I said, these are Magic Find boots, and the most important thing on here is that it can get up to 50% Magic Find, the most Magic Find that you can get on any boot in this game. It also comes with 10 to both Vitality and Strength, and a very helpful 25% faster walk run. So these don't have the resistances on them like you can get on rare boots, and even rare boots can get a bunch of magic find on them as well. But if you get those resistances in other places, you don't need the hit recovery like rare boots. This is a good place to try to stack up more magic find. You will see these boots used all over the place, all the time, and that's why I think this is a good choice at number 1 as the best unique boots in Diablo 2 Resurrected. So for honorable mentions, just because boots in this game uniques aren't always the best, I wanted to go over just a couple other options super quick of things that weren't unique but ones that get used all the time, and obviously I mentioned them in this video, but that is Alder's boots. Lots of life and fire res on them, so that is a huge one, along with that 40% faster walk run. And rare boots can vary so widely. You can get some pretty good ones on with a little bit of resistance, faster walk run, and faster hit recovery, or like the example I used in this video a bunch of times, these absolutely godly pair. I'm guessing you'll never find one as good as these because personally I never have, and a lot of people haven't, but if you do find ones this good, you're going to be super rich. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe up so you never miss any of the future videos. Huge shout out to the channel members. With their support, they really make it possible for me to keep making videos and streaming here on this channel. Peace out, YouTube, and don't forget, keep slaying. Ooh.